Here we are with an estimated 340 player Smoke and Steel League event tonight. Our first round is going to be on the Colquitt's defense between the 23rd New York and the Corn Brigade, followed up by the Hatch's attack between the Sussy Brigade and the Free States Brigade. Here are the standings as it stands right now. The points determine the actual ranking within each division. The ELO ranking is an unofficial rank comparing everyone to everyone. Something to note, the 9th Louisiana versus the Kentucky Outlaw Harper's Ferry Graveyard match last week was contested, and we'll have a rematch for it at the end of the season due to the out-of-bounds issues that occurred there. But beyond that, regiments are here for tonight. These are the sides, and then the actual server population is 340. Union right now up by 2 on the CSA side. In terms of artillery, each side has the option, CSA taking 15, Union taking 5. So the infantry in balance is going to be 12 in favor of the Union side. Frontline reporters for today. For the Union perspective, you have Red from the 59th New York or Sussy Brigade, and then on the CSA side, you have Deckhart from the 23rd New York. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what's going on in the sky. And if you're playing in this match, send me a link to your POV, and we can put that in the pinned comment of the video. So the 23rd New York selected this map, the Colquitt's defense. Corn Brigade elected to be the Union side. So this should be a fascinating one to watch. Ticket and balance used to be about a 19% advantage in favor of the attacking Union side, but with the ticket balance changes they did a couple weeks ago at this point, the Union got a buff in tickets and now have about a 38% ticket advantage, which the map before this was generally very close, especially in terms of tickets. So I assume this buff in tickets is going to help out the Union side. That Union attack has the 19th Indiana Regiment with the Springfield 61, and the 2nd Wisconsin with the option of the Lorenz and the Springfield 61 as well. Meanwhile, the CSA defense, on the other hand, has the 6th Georgia and the 13th Alabama. Both have the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55. So the Union team approaching this hill, this is traditionally what Union's kind of done as of late. They'll push up to this hill area and then push up the hill, or they'll hit the woods, kind of forcing CSA to make a choice of where do they want to defend. And if they have less guys up top, they just keep going up. And I mean, with CSA committing a lot of their forces in the woods, Union's just going to charge up the hill, and right away we're off to a big start here.
Hit the line, boys. Hit the line. Up, boys. We got this.
Oh God, they got us an inflating fire on the left.
You can see some CSA in the open field here trying to shift over, and I mean, they're trying to get crossfire on this Union team that's really trickling out here right now. It's a long distance to cover, but they're very spread out.
You took a rough turn. Get out of here with your Yankee ass having fur, this isn't my car. New York City manicured looking ass.
And Union's making a little progress. The CSA collapsing over, though, are reinforcing this. And their whole team's going. And so a huge hold for the CSA side. Now, where are those Union flags at? They're not holding back. It looks like instead they were gunning it to the opposite side of the map. And, you know, that's really the beauty of the Colquitt's defense map, is kind of briefly mentioned it, but Union side likes to get staged here. And depending on if the CSA side's holding up on the top of the hill or in the woods, the Union will just turn the different direction. And they can fake it too, right? They can start running up this way, try to bait the CSA to move up here, and then collapse towards the woods. But Union kind of almost doing a more extreme option of that by full sending up top. And while that's happening, bringing their flags down into the woods, with CSA not being there, obviously, because CSA has to protect the top of the hill. In that case, right, if CSA just keeps all their guys down here in case Union doesn't move like this, then Union can bring those flags up and probably win the charge on the top of the hill. So, you know, there's a lot of plays that can be made on Colquitt's defense. It's such a beautiful thing, especially just on high pop as well. So, good moves on the Union side. They're down tickets, understandably. That charge went terribly in terms of casualties for them. I mean, charging across a wide open field. That's uphill. They didn't really get too far in terms of charging either. It's the picket's charge of Colquitt's defense, you could say, but it achieves the objectives, gets the Union in the woods. They're down about a fourth of a stage, which isn't too bad. And the forest is usually the goal of the Union team. just because it can cause the most amount of chaos. Obviously, with the woods, there's just so much trees and cover that, you know, it can be difficult. But on top of that, that CSA artillery, it's really hard for them to shoot through a bunch of trees. So CSA team kind of really spreading out here, which if Union just pushes forward here, could take advantage and defeat in detail. Not that they would necessarily know that, but they're going to go in anyways. CSA fall back.
Back uphill, boys.
Triple time.
And that's 12th VA here. Good call out from them trying to get out. JD on the left side of your screen, can barely see him there. And I mean, CSA just completely backs out. Good on them. And Union's going to take this rock without too much of a fight, really. But the whole CSA team kind of backing up on top of the wood line, if not going on the outside of it. Sometimes CSA like to form up on the straight fence here. Their main spawn is over here. So, if my memory serves me right, it's out of bounds for Union. I think a little before it gets to this road. So, it's not like they have to worry about the Union side charging at them. But CSA is up on tickets right now. Still in that time, and Union's either gonna... Union will probably sit here for a few minutes, see how the shootout's going, or they might send some guys out to try to early cap, which I think is why you have some CSA over here. 2 core. Looks like they're charging out from 9th LA. 7th Michigan. 1 9th LA guy here. And so, a couple of kills there. I'm sure the CSA will appreciate. Furthermore, you got FSB holding some rocks here. Now, you got some CSA kind of extending pretty far out to the west side. We'll see who that is in a moment, but the rest of the CSA line from left to right, you got ABC, JD. You got Colquitt's Brigade, 10th United States.
That's fair.
And then I assume this is 12th VA and some more FSB. They're pushing, trying to get on this extreme side to get some shots on. I mean, my guess is the Union team will early cap the point because that just makes the most sense here. And it looks like they're pushing out of the woods here. Now, the point of contention, it does say it's in the center of this open field. And you can't capture from here. You can capture from down here as well. But the more important area on the point is up here on the road. If you're up against this half stone wall, you can cap. And so that's usually where teams are going to try to fight over and hold just because it's overlooking the entire point on the high ground. So, Union charged out. I mean, they secure their right, essentially. They spread out a little bit, but they're not early capping yet. I mean, they're edging it. Some on it, clearly, although I assume the CSA here, probably, I think that's FSB or 2 core, probably 2 core, is going to sit on point and retake it back. So, because that's the thing. I mean, Union can charge forward. I don't know how much further forward, though. What you usually see on Colquitt's defense as well is just because that CSA main spawn is so close to where the fighting's at, CSA can charge into the Union, not necessarily win the charge, but their main spawn so close they can all spawn back in and charge right back in and push Union out just through raw numbers alone. Now, will it help with tickets? Who knows, right? Historically, if my memory serves me right, it wasn't that bad for the CSA side in terms of tickets, which is why, you know, you lose a charge, you expect to lose a little more tickets than what you normally expect, but not at least in the past anyway. So Union buff on this map by a little bit makes sense, and that's what the devs gave us. But of course, we'll see how much it actually impacts, because I don't think I've seen this map. I haven't seen a lot of the maps, frankly, since the ticket balance changed. But, I mean, Union's going to have to... I mean, they have, obviously, 35 minutes, plenty of time, but they got to pick up the pace. There's no real downside for them to sending some guys out to try to early cap, although I really like this 2 core. I really like what 2 core is doing here. I mean, they're holding on the point, because normally you need at minimum 3 guys to try to capture a point, but obviously if your opponents have guys on the point, you need more guys to outnumber them and then take the point. So I like that 2 cores on here to prevent Union from easily early capping, and that could be why this Union team is not trying to move out to early cap. And this Union line, let's check it out here. You got the banners, part of Sussy Brigade, on the extreme right side of the rocks, taking some shots at 2 core. You got the 51st Alabama to their left, TKO 59th New York. 59th New York, a part of Sussy Brigade as well. 7th Ohio further forward, taking some shots. Glad to see them back this week. They're kind of lucky that that first round of last week was rescheduled because they didn't get any points last week since they weren't here. But the left side of the line, you got 7th Michigan, Corn Brigade, and you got 9th Louisiana. And the CSA's starting to get on their flank a little bit. 12th PA most extremely.
Hey, you guys should just pull into the rock now. We're not doing anything. We're just dying.
And so, again, it's the smart idea from the CSA side here. You'll see this a lot. Now both sides, I mean, Union's kind of clumped up in 2 areas here. CSA's kind of clumped up in 4 areas. But CSA's a lot more spread out. Obviously, where the Union groups are bunching up, like in the center here, you know, they're behind some rocks and whatnot and trees, so it's not as bad. But if you're surrounded by an enemy shooting in from all different sides, they're going to definitely have an advantage on you, because if they miss one guy, they'll probably hit the guy behind. Whereas the side that's spread out, it's going to be a lot harder to hit them, just because they're a lot more spread out. So 59th New York is pushed out. Looks like they got some 1st Delaware and 5th NC guys as well in here. Huncho, the witness me man himself, with the flag there.
Break it left, break left, break left, break left, break left.
And so, I mean, we'll see if... I mean, the shootout so far, it's bringing the CSA down, I think, at a reasonable rate. It's just the Union side isn't really gaining on the shootout with tickets, which... With it being this early on in the match, not the worst thing, but if you're Union, you want to try to find a way. I mean, that's why you have a lot of micro-adjusting going on among the Union line, at least especially 59th New York doing that. We saw 9th LA earlier. I mean, they just a couple guys there, but they backed off. Looks like they re-pushed up with some Corn Brigade guys to secure their left. And Union team is going to be the first to hit engage there, and it looks like they're putting someone on point. 2 Corps, looks like they've left the point. They're heading back into the woods, or they're on the edge of it anyways. The Banners guys in 7th Ohio on the point. Some 5th NC as well. And 2 Corps ships out immediately. And it's exactly what the CSA side needs to do here. 2 Corps, 23rd New York as well. I really like it. Your goal as a defender is to, 1, get that black timer down to 0. That's one of many things, of course. And so, that's what they're doing right now. If they early cap the point, the attackers, meaning they capture before the defenders hit breaking, the black timer stops. And you don't want that as defender, especially right now.
Fuck you, dude. Bitch.
Where you going, brother? Scared?
Gotcha, Cornwallis.
So, that little charge there from 23rd New York is held. And a good amount of them are sitting back. Union looks like either respawns or whatnot, but... I mean, I really like what 2 Corps is doing here. And 23rd New York, the leading token for CSA side, so... Might as well. I mean, you're going to force, if anything, Union's either going to have to charge up at you, or they're going to have to send more and more guys out to the open field to capture the point, which will just favor CSA due to this artillery position. When the match started, at least when I cut, you know, this view that you see here on screen, artillery was hitting some nice shots as Union went down the road there. But, I mean, if you just look from their perspective, nice shots there. Beautiful shots. And some of them are counter-battering it, but it's not like they have much to shoot at, so. But a third of the way through the match, generally if you're the attack, you want to hit the defender down to engage about the 30-minute mark, so. I mean, obviously, attackers down on tickets, it's not too bad. It's about a third to a half of morale stage difference where it starts to get concerning for you as an attacker. But the time is another aspect. There's 2 forms of currency in the game. You got your tickets and you got your time. And a match can vary on what matters. So, I mean, Union looks like they're sending some more maybe out. I mean, good chunk of guys here on point. Already just short, gets 1, knocks down the rest, who can get right back up. Except for that guy. That's not a very good place for a bed. At least I wouldn't sleep on some rocks.
You cut. We're on that, boys.
Another nice arty shot. That'll hit Union down to engage.
Camp right here.
And there's another great shot. And I mean, these should be good shots, but, you know, these shots are helping the CSA ensure that they don't lose the point as quickly, which will allow their friendlies, and now ABC, 3rd Regiment, to kind of shift over for the CSA side to ensure it stays capped. Although, yeah. Again, you can cap on this side. Although, it looks like they don't have enough numbers still. I mean, obviously, CSA side doesn't want to put too many guys in the open here. I mean, you have the Union battery up here, although they only have 2 guns, I think. So not as bad as the CSA battery position, however. I mean, the trees are providing you cover, so... honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world for CSA to be out there, just because most of the Union teams in here.
We have to win.
Reach up for winners.
Hey, look, boys. They're gonna stick it. Catch up. There's a flag behind the big tree northwest. If anyone has a shot on it.
Direct some fire northwest on that big tree. You heard the man.
Well, he's behind it. And it's someone down left. You guys have a shot on that flag? They gotta have a shot on it.
What flag are they talking about? Oh, there it is. I think that's the flag they're talking about. CSA close to engage. I wonder if Union's going to wait for CSA to hit to engage just so that gold timer's not as high. So, it looks like they will cap here. And now, so black timer stops, gold timer begins. And the CSA has 20 minutes to retake the point. If they do, the black timer will continue. And if they're down on tickets, then they can regain tickets. But right now, the defending side is down tickets. But what makes this fascinating, if I were CSA, I would get real aggressive right now. So the reason why is because the roles are flipped. Union right now is considered the defending team. The CSA is considered the attacking team, right? CSA is counterattacking, trying to retake the point. Union's defending it. And the only reason why that matters is because the Union side can now hit last stand, which is normally the defender's last stage. The attacker's last stage normally is final push, but now since they're the defender, it's last stand. And that applies to the CSA side too, who can hit final push instead of last stand. But CSA hits Union into last stand and retakes the point, they win. Now, very difficult to do on its own, just because 19 minutes to knock the Union side down. 3 morale stages is not a lot of time, but also if Union's losing bad, they can just turtle in their spawn. So a lot of the CSA shifting around to the point. Union left going to charge forward. So that charge throws 12th BA out. Good on the flag bearer there. Freak. First sergeant to get out of there. Meanwhile, most of the CSA team holding on point or kind of on the edge of the woods here. And, I mean, Union gets a good charge there. They're starting to push forward here. I don't know how much further they're going to charge. CSA is just going to retake, which, honestly, I know I mentioned them trying to be real aggressive. I just like to see that when that happens because it doesn't happen too often. But I will say them retaking probably makes more sense quickly. Just makes more sense because they are doing really good on time and you want to keep that black timer going. And if you do all these charges and whatnot, it'll bring both sides down. So, you know, it's the right decision that they're doing there. And apologies for saying the wrong one a moment ago. Although it is an option. So, black timer continues. The CSA defense side not down any tickets, so they don't regain any, but, you know, if you're up tickets as a defender, you know you're good. And so, Union team's just going to, for the most part, inch closer, or rather forward more. Those clump of rocks they were holding on a moment ago are here. You can see their lines kind of push forward. 12th VA is throwing back up on their left side, although most of the CSA team's in front of them, so they don't have to worry too much about that. The only concern for the 12th VA regiment is that if they just keep getting wiped over and over again because they're by themselves, I mean, that could be a huge ticket drain for the CSA side, but they're keeping their distance a little further back than when they got charged. But, I mean, Union team is shifting, or at least 9th Louisiana is. 7th Ohio here as well. If I'm the Union side, I just keep early capping this. I mean, the problem for the Union side is time. And, you know, CSA retook the point in, what, less than 2-3 minutes, I think? Something like that. But Union just gave themselves an additional 2-3 minutes. And honestly, the ticket bars, I mean, the shootout's been going for a lot longer than what we were initially seeing. But the shootout has resulted in both sides getting more and more even on tickets, which means the shootout is favoring the Union side. And shooting is a strategy that can work, but time is always an issue with the shootout, because obviously when you're charging, a lot more people are dying, there's more skirmishing out of line formation deaths, which mean more tickets are lost. So shooting is just not as much as a charge. And so as a result, you can take a lot more time as a shootout, and so you need to give yourself as much time as possible. So Union should just do this. Looks like 51st Alabama for the most part moving out here. First Delaware guy as well. Couple first Delaware, but they're going to try to retake. CSA just needs to keep stopping this, because you can't let Union do this nonstop, because this match can get drawn out for a long period of time if these early caps keep happening. And I mean, the thing is too, kind of what I just thought about as well, right, is when Union early caps, CSA guys more and more are going into the road, which is taking them away from the woods, and the Union charged when that happened. So, I mean, early capped attempts or fully being able to early cap is spreading the CSA out more, and Union trying to charge and maybe take advantage of it. But nonetheless, this cap attempt is currently stopped by AVC and Colquitt's brigade, and that's the 4th regiment now we've seen out here.
Where are we shooting at? Are we shooting? Where are we shooting?
You're shooting down that line. That's Yankee company right there. We're already hit.
Guys,
I will say there's also
do you
Yanks.
think Bigfoot's dick is?
They're running.
Is it like
At
gonna be a
least a
monkey
foot.
picker?
It's at least a foot, probably. Well, if it's Bigfoot, it's got to be more than a foot long.
I remember seeing a video about a guy saying he got like sexually assaulted by a female Bigfoot.
Holy crap. Alright. That was a jump in a conversation. So
FSB in a nice, orderly line.
at least, you know, conversations aside, they stopped the cap and they did their job. Can't really complain about that. The shootout's still continuing. Tickets still slightly in CSA's favor, though it's not as much as earlier.
Move back right, boys. Move back right. Use these stones, boys.
And so, I mean, not much more to say really than that. I mean, this is just going to be one of those matches that it's like Hill's counterattack. The attacking side is going to want to early cap a lot. Defenders, you know, it's a lot more easier for the defenders to stop a cap on this map than Hill's counterattack, though, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, Union wants to make this a shootout, and so early capping is the only thing they can do. But, you know, all things considered, at least the boundaries are working. Unlike the previous week, which, based on conversations of that, it appeared that an admin at some point had turned it off, whether it be through the terminal, which you can hit when you're playing by tilde, and you can see all the text chats and people getting warned and people joining and leaving and all that fun stuff. Or there's the actual server config settings in G-Portal itself if you host a server. That's a crazy ricochet. Well, I didn't catch the already hit there on screen, so already isn't real. That never happened. So, yeah, those were the only two ways that the server could have turned off boundaries, which it was mentioned to the devs. I did mention it to them in the War of Rights official Discord, and they fixed the issue, whatever that was. So, nonetheless, now both sides, the leading regiments of that night, agreed to a rematch, which is why they're doing it at the end of the season. They decided at night of to do it. But nice Union already shot here. Ripped the fence there. You know, someone spent a good few hours putting this fence in, and they already just blew it up, disregarding the work that man probably put in to build this fence. Very sad.
Keep that flag down.
It's just like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 at times. So I won't say much more because I realized as I was saying that, like, I don't know, maybe someone hasn't played the game. I played that game probably like half a year ago at this point, so that was fun. But I mean, this is just, it's a cycle. Union sends guys out to try to retake or early cap. CSA sends guys out to stop. Union gets shelled by artillery and shot by infantry, retreats, and back and forth. I mean, you get why Union's not trying to commit too many forces out there, because they're getting shredded out there. And so, you know, it's a decision. There's not necessarily a right or a wrong one. We'll see the result, and then I can make comments on it and call it stupid or not. It's like watching a football match.
They bring the evil monkey. You're gonna learn an evil monkey here if you bring the Labubu's out. He likes them.
I've always heard of the Labubu. I don't actually know what that is.
The evil monkey in my closet.
Not the evil monkey in the closet.
Yeah, doing the main menu, yeah.
It's like the elf on the shelf there. Except monkey, evil monkey in the closet. So, yeah. But, I mean, it's like watching NFL or football, and a team goes for fourth down. You get people arguing whether it's worth it or not, and depending on the result, you know, people can go their arguments from there. But, I mean, it just truly comes down to what the Union side strategy wants to be. If they want to make this a shootout, they got an early cap, and so they're going to have to commit more and more forces to get on that point, because they should have hit the CSA down to taking losses at the next morale stage by the 20-minute mark, and we're over a minute past it at this point. So, I mean, it looks like that ticket lead is starting to maybe grow back in CSAs a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Southeast, fellas, southeast.
we'll see. You know, watching the recordings of myself at times, I say so a lot. And but. Those are probably the two words I say a lot. The greatest speakers here. And, you know, speaking of trying to deal some damage, here comes the Union team.
Blast them, boys! Blast them! Oh shit, Tyson, you look like a Yankee with that blue.
So, Union side charges forward there. It does knock them to taking losses. Which, still a little bit of charge. CSA reinforcements involved.
Go down the hill. Make sure you kill him.
Come a couple more, Union. Some more CSA in the background here.
I feel quite hungry.
And some of the CSA charging down the hill. Maybe they're trying to force Union out completely. They see those flags, they want them.
Hold this line, boys. Hold this line.
Hi, George.
Penis, penis, penis.
Come here, bitch. Kill this bitch.
So, starting to fizzle out there. I mean, Union, just zooming out here, they lose on... I mean, the charge doesn't work well, but at this point, they just need to deal ticket loss. And so, they've fallen back. CSA side looks like they're starting to push down the hill a little bit. Maybe they're going to charge down completely. Meanwhile, Union has guys moving on the point. Banner's trying to early cap it again to stop that timer and give more time. Looks like CSA... You know, we can see that they can win this charge easily if they just go for it. But will they actually do that, though? Looks like they're not.
They're lining up west-northwest.
Get back behind the rocks. Now, boys.
Everybody, break loads and follow me. 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 Break loads and follow me.
Everyone.
Let's go.
So Womp trying to lead something here. Bringing all 4 flags with. Now, are they going to try to outright hold the point for 7 minutes? That probably won't work. You never know, though. Or they're going to try to go up to the top of the hill. That's kind of what I want to know. Because they know the CSA are getting close to them on the left, and they're already kind of chasing Union here. Let's watch this. Guy, who would have thought, guys, we're watching this. We're watching it live.
Keep going.
Sprint.
Bodies on my left. Body block these flags.
Don't leave the flag behind.
How far will they go? The Union guys on point. The banners are starting to go up the hill, so they're trying to take the top here and maybe charge out that artillery CSA side. I think starting to realize some of them are anyways are going up. Union will get there first, but they'll be outnumbered very quickly. This fence line is kind of why you get a trickle here, but everyone's got to deal with the trickle anyways. Union gets there first. CSA artillery gets 1 or 2, it looks like. Look at this view.
Hey, Union, look behind you.
No, don't tell him we're here.
Keep on going, ABC. Come on, go. Don't stop, boys. Don't stop.
So CSA is going to get up first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A couple of Union made it up to charge the artillery. CSA trickling up as well. Union flags stopping in the center there. Some CSA have moved up on the bottom of the hill behind the Union team, and it's Union intend to take the top of the hill. I mean, their flags have stopped. Or are they just going to try to retake the woods? It looks like there's almost charging on the bottom side of the hill. I mean, just briefly looking, yeah, Union's pushing out that CSA group. Union flags, I think, are heading back to the woods as this Union push up top stops. Again, they draw the CSA up top. They take a ticket price with it, but it's going to let the Union team get into the woods again.
So is the plan to hold this?
I mean, they've held the counterattack so far for 2 minutes.
Oh, you're out of stand.
I mean, if the Union team is going to go in the woods, CSA is going to sweep down and just form a defensive line up here, presumably. And, I mean, good on 2-Corps there. They're the group to get behind. And it looks like they're going to be able to reasonably get out. Union flags in the woods. CSA should try to retake this right now. Union could try to hold it for 4.5 minutes, but it's just risky with them being in the open. CSA still having that artillery. And, I mean, they would probably take a ticket hit from it. And, I mean, we're getting to the later stages of the match here, and Union's down a fourth of a stage. Still not the worst thing in the world, but don't want it to be worse than that, that's for sure.
This is not the Fortress Rocks. Keep advancing. This is not the Fortress Rocks. This is not the Fortress Rocks.
Go, keep advancing, boys. Don't get the reload. Keep advancing.
You know, I felt like I heard this a while ago, and I don't know if this is actually showing up in the recording or if it's someone's frontline reporter view, but I keep hearing birds on the corner of my ear. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe they added birds into the game, bird sounds, which, I don't know. Maybe it's a frontline reporter view who's just playing birds. I don't know. I need to go back to the recording. Nonetheless, CSA is starting to take the point. Union team is pushing up. They're not pushing up all the way yet. They can get up to these rocks here. I know that for a fact, so they can go a little further forward, but clearly not wanting to. Team pretty decently spread out here.
Here they come, they're running. Yep, sound wave north, northeast.
Independent fire. Independent fire, 7. Shoot
So,
them up. Easy
CSA is going to retake the point. Black Timer is going to continue. Now, if you're the attacking side here, you want to hit the defenders down to that next stage of engage by the... engage. Who would have thought you regained tickets, actually, but... You dropped a breaking. You want to hit him to that by the 10-minute mark, so they got 6 minutes essentially to do that right now. Which they have the time. CSA, what is their team doing right now? They're just spreading out on the line. Why is there... Yeah, there's a dev here watching the game. Oh man, the spectating players, it cuts off. Let me do this. Here we go. Now it shows up. The cursed screen. Holy crap! Union's charging. So Union gets a huge wipe there, and wiping Colquitt's brigade. You got Timpy West up here kind of caught in the middle of nowhere. CSA collapsing in from the backside right now.
Stay together.
And, I mean, CSA is close to breaking. They're about a fourth of a stage away. Union's side, they've got a couple flags down on the bottom of the hill. Union team is kind of split right now. CSA is charging multiple sides as well. I mean, there's a Union regiment in the woods that's about to get swallowed up on the rocks here. 30th Ohio, they're kind of distracting, though. So it looks like Union side's going to outright just try to take the point. They are capping it right now. Both sides very close to breaking. Union trying to push forward again to take the top side of this area, which CSA's not here. They're also just trying to charge and hit in the breaking. So you don't want to accidentally cap when CSA's still in taking losses.
Yeah, we got to keep going. Look, right side, right side, right side.
Union breaking. CSA, I don't think they're going to hit it before Union takes. Oh, never mind, they do! Man, Union, what a win. What a win. You know, it was just like, Union was down by a little bit, and so I'm like, there's no way CSA just hits breaking right there, but, wow. I haven't seen that in a while where Union just caps right on a CSA breaking. That's crazy work. So, congrats to Corn Brigade there. Oh, what the... really well done on... Wait, what the... There's like War of Rights 0.0199. They're still in alpha, right? But yeah, I mean... Really nicely done by Corn Brigade's side there. I mean, 23rd New York in the CSA side, they didn't have a bad game by any means. But... I mean, Union just charged at the right time. CSA maybe a little too spread out there at the end. And Union just charged forward, defeated the guys close to point, was able to take it and started capping it. And I mean, if CSA doesn't hit breaking there, this game goes completely differently, I think. But nonetheless, you know, it is what it is. Heck of a first round. We'll see you shortly for round 2. And here we are with the second round. Before we get into this, though, thank you to our YouTube members for your support. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, what's also interesting is I hear someone or something doing like meows really aggressively in one of my frontline reporters' ears. I don't know who, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. No. Anyways, yeah, server population to start our second round here is 366. I should have mentioned this before as well, but the sides have flipped. So Union last round, now CSA. CSA last round, now Union. Both sides at 184. There is no artillery on this map. And so with that all being said, the Hatches attack, it was about a 10% ticket advantage to the attacking Union side. And now that has flipped. Or it hasn't flipped, but it's doubled, I should say. And now the Union side has a 20% ticket advantage on this map. And that's something that they needed really badly. And I'll explain the map terrain in a second, but one of the advantages that the Union side gets is through their the CSA side gets is through their weaponry. CSA has a huge advantage on this map, which is why Union need the ticket buff. Sorry, I was adjusting the frontline reporters and trying to talk at the same time. Don't multitask. Anyways, so yeah, the Union attack, as you can see here with the nice green uniforms, they have the 2nd United States sharpshooters. Now they have the Sharps rifle carbine, and the NCOs have the scopes on those. The Union also has a 2nd regiment in the 23rd New York with the Enfield. But that 2nd U.S. sharpshooters, because they have the Sharps carbine rifle, it is considered a special weapon, and as a result, they only have 1 company compared to what you normally have with a regiment, where you have 2 companies. So Union only has 3 companies, which means they have 3 flags, and so more people have to crawl under 1 flag. Like, for example, CSA regiments, you have 54, you have 47, You have 41. You have 32. Union, on the other hand, you have 85 in the company, 76, and then 20 for the U.S. Sharps. So obviously, a huge advantage of the CSA. A lot guys are able to spawn in a lot easier. CSA defense, on the other hand, they have the 18th and the 56th Virginia, both with the option of the Enfield, the Springfield 55, and the Springfield 42. So the whole CSA team has shotguns, essentially. And the Union has less flags, don't have shotguns, and have scope carbines, which are really good at shooting, but not close fighting. You can see this Union line's getting shredded. They're just getting... I don't know why they're not charging this. You're walking point blank next to CSA defensemen who have shotguns in a strong defensive spot. Jeez, I'm stuttering over my words. What a great commentary this is. But yeah, I mean, that's the other part of the CSA defense that's so great, is they just have such a good defensive line. I mean, their defensive line goes along this road here. They have a half stone wall that stretches across this part, and then they have the woods where they can use the cover of the trees, the shade, all that jazz. You can see the result. Union just gets completely shredded here, and they have to back up a little bit. Now, Union traditionally do like to push up this side of the map, and they're holding a little further forward than what they normally do on the left, just because it's still not in any considerable cover. Usually they either try to get up on the snake fence or hold a little further back in the death blade where the hill's further down. Union also likes to get into the open field here, which you can see 12th BA and ABC in. Because again, this is kind of a big hill here, so they can obviously be deflated here. Difficult to see with the flags whenever they disappear, but it deflates downhill, so they can use the cover. They also have some rocks here in the center field. Meanwhile, CSA's got that whole woods. So, in short, CSA just has a great defensive position with superior weapons and more flags to spawn people in. And as a result, it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult for the Union side to win. Maybe the ticket buff of 10%, going from a roughly 10% advantage to 20% advantage, will help them. Who knows? But anyways, CSA defensive line looks like you got Sussy Brigade on the left. TKOs to their right, mixed in with 9th Louisiana. Again, remember the side switch. Rip that guy on top of the rock. A true mad lad there. Support that cause. Meanwhile, the right side of the map, you have Corn Brigade, in mass, 7th Michigan, 51st Alabama, and 7th Ohio. And something I should have mentioned as well at the beginning of the round is the Free States Brigade picked this map, and then Sussy Brigade picked the CSA side. So, Sussy Brigade as CSA, Free States Brigade as Union. That is the matchup for the second round. So, that should be everything. The greatest commentary in the world here at the Battle Line Network. Every single week. Which we're now covering other games. So, should be good. But this is so far looking like it's going to be a shootout. Hatch's attack. Usually you don't see Union charge into the woods a whole lot. I mean, on top of the fact that the CSA have the shotguns and the Union doesn't have them, those sharps that the Union side has are shorter in length. As a result, they're not as good as melee. And for that reason, you know, you don't want to get into a big melee with a team with guys who don't have that good of guns for that, right? Also, with Union having only 3 flags, if you have any close-range combat, CSA defense is just going to be able to out-respawn with more flags. But nonetheless, Union's going forward here. JD's going front. Now, if Union charges, they don't know why they don't put the sharps in the front. You want to put the guys with the worst weapons in front, but they're just going to go straight into the woods here.
Reform a straight line! Reform!
And so that charge looks like it pretty much ends there. A couple Union guys left here on the CSA right side. Although nothing significant here. Some CSA are charging out, trying to maybe get a Union flag.
Come here! I will fucking lick your ball back! Come here, I'm licking your ball back! Come here! Come here! Look at these cunts!
So Union team in disarray, starting to fall back down the hill. A couple CSA still trying to extend out here to get the flags. Which...
Seasoning, run, man. Come here, faggot. I'm gonna fucking rape you. Come here, bitch.
Whoa. Kel, get out of there. Oh! Almost banana saved the day. So, Union gets their flags out of there, and that's how you would expect a charge to go in the woods there. I mean, Union got a little progress on CSA right, but what War of Rights comes down to in the end, especially this map, just because Union can never really hold grounds in the CSA defensive line due to all the advantages the CSA side has, but the tickets are really what's going to matter in the end. And right now, CSA's up by a fourth of a stage. So, I mean, Union did an initial push-up. It got shot to crap. Lost tickets in that. And this charge that just occurred a moment ago went to crap as well. Now, with the ticket, this is a very surprising map to pick in general, because how they do it in coordination is one side picks the map, which Free States Brigade picked this map. The opposite side, Sussy Brigade, got to pick the side. Sussy Brigade picked CSA. And ever since they did the ticket balance changes a couple weeks ago, you know, a lot of stuff has been out of loop. Like the first match in this event after those changes was a Cook's countercharge, where Sussy Brigade was leading CSA. Don't remember who was leading the Union side, but the CSA Sussy Brigade side got utterly destroyed. Now, Union was the better team that day, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't even close in tickets. The few times CSA won the charges on that map, they weren't gaining any tickets. So it can, you know, those ticket balance changes can be huge, especially just for those of you who don't know, Cook's countercharge, that map where Union won, that I'm just mentioning a moment ago. The CSA side dominantly won that map every single time it was played before that ticket balance change. And so a lot of these maps now can kind of come into question, which is maybe why Free States Brigade, for example, picked this map, because Union got a roughly 10% buff in tickets. You know, maybe it could make the difference, but so far in this initial few, like 10 minutes of the round that have gone by so far, that has not been the case. CSA still dominating on this map. I mean, about every advantage you could give the CSA side in terms of terrain, weapons, flag spawns, it's there. The devs have been kind of combating this, great English, through the update, because what they did on some of the maps is they added an additional Union regiment onto maps where, or rather, I think it was just to the Union side, I don't remember though. Before I say that, a little shootout here. You can just see that buck and ball shredding the Union line here. 12th BA going up. Sussy Brigade really getting some hits on here. 9th LA as well. But, yeah, on top of the ticket balance changes that they did on some of the maps, I think this mostly applied to the Union side, though. If Union side only had 3 companies, like they do on this map, the devs gave them an additional company so that each side would have the same amount of companies, that being 4. So that they could have the same amount of spawns. Now, it doesn't seem to be in place for this map. I know they had some issues with it, so maybe they removed it and they're still working on that. Who knows? But nonetheless, I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, this is still a surprising pick, especially with the results seen so far. So, I mean, the tickets aren't too bad, but yet, I should say. That's the key word. I mean, it's kind of similar to last round, right? Where the attackers, it's not a fourth of a stage. It's maybe a little less than a fourth of a stage. But this is really turning into what we saw last round, where attackers had some initial pushes, went terrible, but they're near the point, which is the point located in the center of the map here. Union's moving up to it. They got a half-stone wall here. So maybe trying to use that to their advantage. CSA just got to get up close and cause some chaos. So, looks like, I mean, a couple of the Union guys getting shredded here. Union trying to play some encouraging music here to help them out. But I mean, if you just look from this perspective here, where's the CSA in the woods? You cannot see them. Not many, but I mean, you couldn't tell they were there. And I mean, even on this side, looking over here, you just can't see. I mean, you can barely see the flag in the center of the screen there, but with all the smoke included, you just can't see. Whereas, I mean, if we look from a CSA perspective, probably the same thing. Looks like they're falling back, but at least from here. But you can see the Union line very clearly from the CSA position. Obviously, Union has not as much cover as the CSA side here, but the biggest difference is the shade. The shade just provides so much more cover than what you would maybe normally anticipate, just with your silhouette and everything. So, Union line starting to shift more into the corn. Some getting on CSA. Who have extended to their left a little further. 12th PA on it again. I mean, just look at the Union guys moving through the corner on the left side, and look at where 12th PA is at, right there. Obviously, there's smoke over them, but you can see the guys, at least from up here, that are in the sunlight a lot easier than those that are in the shade. So, all matters. Union hits engage. CSA is starting to extend out their right side. They're going to get on the snake fence here and flank on Union in the center here. It's a good positioning by that regiment there. JD's going to back up as a result. Already kind of getting pounded anyways. That's 7th Michigan here with some MSG mixed in. And so it looks like Union's kind of turning their attention to the corn here. I mean, at least in the corn here, Union has some cover of their own in a sense. It's not like the corn stalks are going to block bullets, but
moving south, Louisiana.
CSA is not going to be able to pick you up as easily.
I will swap my bucking balls on your hole.
That's so funny.
I don't think I can say that.
Turn around, boys. Keep on the wheel, straight ahead.
But I mean, Union's somewhat maintaining a line, a good amount of them reforming in the center. I mean, it's just, if you go up to the close range against buck and ball, it's just going to be a difficult time. And so you either got to make it a shootout, which is difficult on this map just because it's a hill and CSA has great defensive spots. I mean, Union can't shoot the CSA until they're like up here-ish. So, I mean, which is pretty close to the CSA line, all things considered. And I mean, they could try to charge in, which Union side has already tried, and they did not go so well. But we're a third of the way through the game in terms of the black timer. CSA still not engaged. I mean, unlike the previous map, that point is up on the road. We saw the Union team go up there, and I mean, you can just see the result of that. So, it's just a very difficult map. I mean, the tickets can definitely, honestly, if you give the Union enough tickets on this map, they would probably just eventually get to a point where they just suicide charge in all day. Like you see with River Crossing, for example, which looks like they're starting to push up now. Are they going to go into the woods or just stop and take shots? They're going in.
I'm sorry, Batman.
Hold the line!
Sheridan, don't stab your teammates.
There's an accident.
There you fuck. Come here.
This is a very trickled-in Union charge. Some CSA charging out.
You see that? Putting my back into it. I was arching my back and stabbed with your... I don't know why they ignored
Yeah, this is a very disjointed Union charge. Not all of them are going in either. A little confusing. I mean, some CSA pushing up into the road to get even closer shots on the Union. That's working.
It's not there anymore, Noble. It's not there anymore, Noble.
And look at that, took it different. CSA hit engage, but Union's down over a half morale stage. I mean, there's not much to do with CSA on this map, but CSA's doing everything right here.
Yeah, they just lost their ass.
Let's run out into the middle of the fucking road at a firing
Firing, south-southeast.
We're fucking Union.
Copy. 59th, wheel back now. Pull.
Operation Run.
So someone picked up AVC moving through the corn here, so they're reacting. I assume that's why they're shifting back. So because Reds sound Like, we need to go now. I mean, there's no Union pushing this side of the map. Wow, this is beautiful. But
I'm with you, Nova.
maybe see you getting a couple shots here.
Low-key playing right.
So Union side kind of resetting in the center of the map again. I mean, CSA is just playing this beautifully, and it's like, what are your options as Union? You could try to make this a shootout, although you've been struggling in time in the shootout. Like, just time is not in your favor, just because CSA has all the defensive positions. And I mean, the thing is too, even at a medium to long range shootout, Union has less flags, and so if there's an even shootout going on, which is what you generally see at the longer distances, although if Union has the rifles, they'd probably be a little more accurate than the CSA's 42s at distance. But it's not like you really get a long-distance shootout on this map. So, regardless, I mean, a short-medium shootout on this map, CSA is just going to be able to out-respawn you and use the buck and ball. Union could try to charge in, like they have, it's failed. They could try to early cap, you just sit in no man's land, kind of, and get shot up the crap. I mean, the options are not great for the Union side here, and they've tried multiple different things, which I can appreciate, but if a map comes down to relying on an opponent to make a mistake to win, that's not a good thing. Which, I mean, you can win off of opponents making mistakes, but for CSA, there's not much they have to do as a defender on this map, and so it's very easy to just do the things they need to do to win the game, and so it's just too difficult for the Union side to win at that point. Now, again, FSB picked the map, and CSA, Sussy Brigade, picked the right side clearly so far. I mean, plenty of match left, but it's not looking like a good shot for Union here. So Union forming up a big line. You can see the CSA, they're doing this great too, right? 7th Michigan MSG, the moment Union started pushing this way, they backed off. CSA is keeping distance, waiting for Union to come in. Because if the Union sit out here and try to make this a shootout, and CSA is just hiding, Union's not dealing any casualties. They barely would in the first place, but that's besides the point. Union can't deal any casualties to the CSA who are hiding deep into the woods. Union has to push forward, and the CSA can respond by pushing up, shoot the bucket ball, Union's dead. I mean, they're just doing everything right here. So Union lines are slowly pushing forward here. Eerily kind of quiet here with a couple shots here and there.
That's a dead body, don't shoot that. You wasted a goddamn bullet, boy.
Well, you only get 40 of those, and then you have to die.
You only get 40 of those.
I mean, CSA is just baiting the Union to go in. Because, I mean, Union's pretty close and CSA is not pushing up.
You're trespassing. And now the boys.
Right in front of us.
Union's incredibly clumped up here. I mean, they're spreading out as much. I mean, maybe they could spread out a little more, but they're so clumped up. They are capping point.
Have I ever told you that?
Independent fire.
Come on here.
Jesus.
Early cap. It won't hurt the Union side, that's for sure. There's no downsides for them doing it. So, and CSA, you know, they could charge in if they want to, but you could see they're pushing up a little bit, starting to move forward in the center, but they're just going to get close, just slowly squeeze the Union out. I mean, the Union right side's been depleted. I mean, they shifted to their left side. 59th really curving this flank, but they'll probably start inching forward shooting, or they'll just keep shooting down the side. Union shifting because they realize, I think.
Hi, Atlantic, you're doing a lovely
673.
Let them have it, boys. Everybody else. Let them have it, boys. Let them have it. Let them have it.
Jesus, we're fucked either way.
Keep firing, buddy. Keep firing. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, Law Dog. No. Right down there, boys. Right down there.
So, yeah, you can just see that Union line's being depleted. I know they shifted guys from the left to the right, but even then it's getting smaller and smaller. And CSA, I think, actually pushed up in the center to prevent Union from early capping. And it's just a crossfire. This is...
Man, they're close if we can see the plume right there.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Boy, if you say something about Chili's, I'm gonna triple dip your ass.
I don't
Pull off,
understand.
boys. Pull back, pull back, pull back. We need cover. We need to stop taking these losses.
Pull back.
And just like that, CSA completely forced the Union out. A lot of Union foremen back down. They didn't bring their flags up, or if they did, they weren't there for long. And CSA knocked the Union into taking losses, and they hold the point.
Forward up left of the rocks, right? Forward left of the rocks, JD.
I'm just making
We
sure.
have a star here?
That's all.
Nope. 608, rally behind the rocks over here. 608.
So, man, just huge props to the CSA side. They're doing everything they need to do.
Southeast, 12 yeah, let's go.
Well, Virginia, we're pulling back.
Run away, boys.
Pull back.
Sam,
Pull back. Well, Virginia, break the relay.
can you guide me back to CQB?
I'll tell you what, I could fuck up a triple dipper from Chili's right now.
Hell yeah, dude.
For sure.
I don't even know what that is. I haven't been to Chili's in a long time. So, we'll see what Union does. They got some moves on right now. Union main spawn bottom of the hill, by the way. They're starting to hit in the corn. Union will sometimes like to hit the extreme CSA right, or left, I should say, and try to push forward to take the rocks there, although you do have a scout here from the CSA side in Huncho, and he's probably been the reason. I don't know how long he's been out here, but at least this movement by Union is definitely going to be picked up by CSA. I mean, CSA kind of resetting right now, just because, I mean, right? You wipe the attackers, you push them off, you reset. You spread out across the whole width of the map. You don't know where the attackers are going to go, and so you don't want to leave one of your sides wide open and let the defenders just get behind you. Because this is like Dunker Church in a sense, where there is a distinct defensive line for the CSA defense, and you can't let the Union get past it into the woods. Now, CSA has that bucking ball, so they have an advantage there, but I mean, same kind of idea still applies. Huncho hiding in the rocks, he definitely notifies his friendlies. And I mean, a good amount of the CSA line starting to shift. Shots being fired. Union very spread out, pushing this side right now. It's kind of funny looking, the soldier guy, real scrunched up in the rock there. Almost looks dead. But, I mean, if you're Union, you're not looking there. So, you got more CSA starting to shift over to CSA left, especially with the Union group here. Being FSB starting to engage already. With the Sharps. And so I don't know what the Union side intends to do here now. They can either just get up here and make a shootout. They could go for it. They could try to go back if they want to try to do kind of what we saw at the Colquitt's defense last round. I mean, we'll see, though. 18.5 minutes left. CSA up half morale stage. Got to hit CSA into taking losses by 20 if you're trying to be consistent. Not even close.
You brought shame upon us all.
Hi. Hi, guys. India
The hearing loss is not serviceable.
Oh, here you sprint.
Hearing loss doesn't exist yet.
Alright, here they go. A little strung out here. This snake fence is definitely going to string them out. CSA side, for the most part, is here. How many's going to die to fall damage? There goes one. Just one.
Did we lose him to fall damage?
Tarlon!
Prepare to defend yourselves.
So Union sweeping through the CSA left. A lot of CSA from the top collapsing in though. So it's just a big circular, the Battle of Bull Run here. Oh, these Union guys didn't realize. There's a good amount of CSA guys that have sweeped through there. They get the win. Some shenanigans still occurring up front though.
Retreat, boys. Their charge is now retreat.
So CSA is going to get a win there. A couple more Unions still, looks like.
Where is chilies? I have to find it.
Die in the name of Jesus, Yankee heathen! Die, asshole!
Did they even attack us? I didn't notice.
So that charge is held. No, I mean, again, not really surprising. Union lose 2 flags there, although they probably should be recoverable just because that's in front of the CSA defensive line. Not by much, but CSA not even taking losses yet. Union, they're probably down 2/3 to 3/4 of a morale stage right now. It just, every charge, it keeps growing. This is not good for Union. Real good for CSA. Let's see if Shark can try to get one of these flags.
Get the flag right. Get the flag. Get the fucking flag.
Oh! Oh! Ooh. Who shot that? Henry, Stonewall, Cox. One of the 3 guys here. 2 of the 3 hit those. Nice shots. Oh, there's a Union guy. Edgar, what are you doing up here?
Bobby, look west! Yankee Rambo, on the rock!
Who's gonna find Edgar? Uh-oh.
Hey, buddy! You're fucking dead.
Oh, got him. Alright, Zeb. Let's go.
Gay Stanley got him.
We got him. We got him.
TB, come left.
Come on, TB.
So, I mean, we'll see what the Union side has in store here. Now, with 2/3 of their flags down, they have a choice. They can either return to this side to try to get those flags. I mean, those flags have a 5-minute despawn timer on it the moment they're dropped. After 5 minutes, they'll despawn and someone can spawn back in with them at main. However, if you go up and pick them up, you can. But, I mean, if you don't fight without those flags, you're going to be in a real bad spot just because you need your flags, otherwise you have to spawn at main. But Union's mostly gathering up at the same time. It looks like it's their side. Looks like they're just going to try to go up and hit it again.
Let's go.
Going for the flag.
Lord Farquaad.
Go on the.
We all
Go
move
on
as
the
one.
and I will give you back your land.
So I'm intrigued to see if they're just going to go in again or if they're going to try to pick up the flags and get out. I mean, there's a lot of guys to just go in and get the flags and get out. Although, you never know. I mean, the CSA team all perked up on this side again. Union still has a couple guys up, or has a guy up here. CSA have another guy. Oh, Violence versus Plague Doctor. Violence missed. Plague Doctor hits. But here comes Union.
Get these flags up.
So they get one. They're all going. They're going to go for it. It's just, I mean, there's not much more Union side can do other than pray that something works. So, they're going, wow, that smoke is turning black. That is, wow.
How many times did you teach this lesson, old man?
Okay.
You charge here, and we will reach you with steel.
Oh, I'm sorry, you died.
Alright, where's the Union that survived this? Union here breaking CSA into taking losses.
Come here, kill the Yankees, scum, kill the
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Okay.
And that's going to do it here. Another charge failed. Basically a morale stage difference at this point, and CSA get a huge win again, and it is just looking more and more. Oh man, they even charged out and got the flags down again. And it's the two normal infantry flags as well, though. Are they out of bounds? Nope.
Hey, get off that flagpole right now. Bad boy.
Did you have to put him down like that?
Hi, guys.
So, good shot, Cornwallis. So, I mean, Union will probably just do the same thing again, or they're going to pick them up and go to the center. I mean, it's getting to a point where they just can't win. Now, obviously, right, I mean, if you're down a morale stage this late in the game, it's just a low chance to win it of itself. But the problem is, right, is Union can hit the CSA into breaking maybe before this match is over. And if they do that, they can then capture the point and win the game. But they have to actually win a charge or two, which is unlikely. But that's the first thing there. But also too, they could just not hit him in the breaking. I mean, they're much more likely to hit final push before hitting CSA into breaking, and then that's a whole mess. And I mean, they can capture before the CSA hit breaking, and then a counterattack begins. But the roles flip, and then if Union gets knocked down to their final stage of last stand, then CSA can instantly recap and win. So there's just all around no good decision for the Union at this point. They just got to stick to something as a team and, you know, do their best. So that's all you can do. So, I mean, looks like most of the Union side is returning to their extreme left. They have Colquitt's brigade and some JD guys going out to retrieve those downed Union flags, which, you know, kind of what we saw in the previous round. I almost wonder if something like this would work on this map on hatches. Like, you have the whole team charge up one side, and then you have the flags on the other side. Like, I wonder if something like that could work on this map. Who knows, though. Now, it'll be interesting to see if the flags on this side like start to move back left or if they just stay put. Because, I mean, a lot of CSA are staying over there and realize Union's picking up those flags. What is... I'd be shocked if these guys charge. Yeah, they're starting to back up. All right. Now, these guys on the left, I assume they're going to charge. Because if you want to move the flags to a different place, you need to cause chaos on the opposite side. I mean, the flags are pulling back. They're not going into the corn, though. And are they going to charge on this side?
To the left and right of the colonel,
no.
lieutenant general of the armies.
So I assume those flags are going to return back. A couple of them are going for it. Both VA. They're getting shot up.
We're gonna get shredded out here, boys. Hey, yeah, pull back.
So they're getting shot up. Those Union flags looks like they're returning. There is a Union and a CSA guy out here vibing.
And you can also just show your heads behind the stone wall and guard the whole length of the map. So.
we're in a trench, and you're
Well, we have no idea where you're positioned until we get up there, which is very fair.
You can rest assured that we will be in front of you with our whole team every time.
And you have back and ball to balance it out even more.
Grip, I wish I could hear you.
We know nothing.
So, Union team forming back up with all their flags. And, I mean, they can charge in, which they won't have final push in the next charge. They would in the one after that. But by the time that is done, the map would be over. I mean, Union could just try to make this a shootout for the next, 5.5, 6 minutes. See how far they can bring the CSA down and then try to charge it and hope they can cap on a CSA breaking like we saw the last round. But, who knows? I mean, I assume that's what Union's going to do, considering they're staying put right now. I mean, if they want to charge and have 2 charges, because, if they charge in, they're probably not going to win. And so they need to spend some time to reform back up. So if they charged in, they would need to give themselves like a couple-minute buffer to get formed back up and then go in for another charge.
Let's go. Fall back to the road.
So, yeah, I'm saying, like, you need to charge now. That's going to go on for 2 minutes. It takes you 2-3 minutes to reset. Then you'll have a minute or 2 to charge in. But, alas, that's not happening. Some Union pushing the core, and that forces 59th to back off, who are taking some shots. 12th VAs, the guys to do that. They've been doing a lot of movement this map.
Hold back.
Really just a lot of movement for tonight. So they back up a little bit. It's just really surprised to see the Union side so clumped up. I mean, like, if you do one-man spacing, like one-man spacing, just a little gap between each guy. So you have a guy is space, a guy is space. And when I say space, like a one-man spacing. You're still in formation, but I'm surprised they're not trying to spread out more. I mean, you can't do one-man spacing across the entirety of this. Although that'd be kind of crazy to see, because you'd have to extend into the corn to do something like that. So 5 minutes left. Both sides going down a little bit on that bar.
Oh, we got the India side.
I mean, I guess it's just going to be how much further they're going to go. It looks like Union's just going to try to win this off of one charge. They're just going to keep it going. Which, you have some movement. 10th US shifting further right. They're probably going to plug this hole here and keep the shootout going. And again, I'm surprised they're not spreading out more, which 10th US of all regiments should know how to spread out. They do that very well, the one-man spacing, which a couple of their guys are doing, like those 3 right there. Sid, Papa John's, and Grandpa Kilo. Although, with them inching forward here, is Union, I wonder if they're almost going to try to just slowly inch forward to try and get onto that point and capture, because I don't know how far the point moves out into the open area here. Which, even then, they still have to bring CSA down to half morale stage in 4 minutes. If they early cap before CSA hit breaking, then they're just going to lose the game automatically. Which, I don't think you're going to bring down the CSA into breaking in 3.5 minutes, especially when CSA is kind of holding back a little bit. Which is why you got those Union lines inching forward. Now, it'll be interesting to see, because I'm just trying to think, right? Union could inch forward to start capping the point. At that point, CSA has to make a decision if they want to try to push the Union out or not. And because they have so many tickets, it's not like they have to worry, like, oh, we're going to hit breaking or not. So they could just sit back and let the Union early cap and then countercharge him in the last stand.
I can't wait to see what I get reincarnated as.
Or they could just outright charge him out. Which, they won't ever charge today, which that's probably the ones that makes the more sense, the simpler of the options. A couple Union guys through the corner here, 12th BA. I mean, all things considered, tickets don't really matter anymore for the Union side. They might hit final push, but even then, when you hit final push, you have infinite tickets. And the time's so low that the time won't change when Union side hits final push here. So Union might as well just act like they're in final push. So I don't really mind 12th VA going out like that. I mean, Union just needs to find some way to get CSA down to raking. I mean, it's been a minute or two, and CSA's gone down about an eighth of the stage, so... Uh-oh. I was just... Someone in chat said I better have caught Corn Brigade's artillery shot, so I'm gonna load bird shot. We saw some last round. I don't know who it was. Alright, so Union's gonna charge here. Yeah, that's really the last option. This is it. They don't have enough time to reform. CSA's probably gonna counter-charge this. Some Union not charging on this side. So CSA hold the center, which is really all that matters. They're probably going to countercharge this out at this point. Union depleted anyways.
Northeast. Shoot them in the face. Leave their daughters with nothing to bury.
And that should do it here. I mean, good win by the CSA side. Sussex Brigade's going to get a win there over FSB. And, I mean, only my real reaction is just this isn't surprising. I mean, with that ticket change, there was a little bit of curiosity, like, oh, will this change things? But clearly not enough. Because CSA did everything right, and they dominated. And it's not like Union did anything wrong, per se. I mean, maybe a little spread out and here and there and not fully committing. Like that first charge, they should have all gone in. But, I mean, Union did a lot of different things, and none of them really worked. And it's not like there's too many options that you can do in this game. So, huge props to the CSA side. They just dominated that round. Really not much more to say than that. Attach is attack. What do you expect, I guess? So, yeah. With that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, and get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do with no ads. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get early access to all the videos that we post on non-broadcast days. We're starting to post other games like Over the Top, Total War, and maybe some other games as well. So please check those out and give feedback if you have any in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it. God bless you all. And we will see you all in the next one. Congrats to Corn Brigade and Sussex Brigade tonight. 2 good wins from them. We will see you all again in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.